Hello, there are two things that I would like to show you today. One, how to copy objects using the copy command, and two, how to move objects in 3 dimensions using the move command. I'm starting out with a bit of code here that I'm going to use in my example, so I'd like to quickly go over it so that you understand exactly where I'm starting from. You can see in the viewport over here that I have made and displayed a purple cylinder with a radius and a height of 1. Going over to my code on the left, you can see that I create a circle named myObject with a radius of 1. I then color it magenta, and then I extruded it on the z-axis to a height of 1 using the prism command. Then I just displayed it using the show command. Now I'm going to show you the ever useful and time-saving copy command. In order to make a copy of our object, we must declare another object to be that copy. So what we'll do is go right below this line where we extrude our circle into a cylinder and create a new object called copied object and assign it to be a copy of my object. Now let's put copied object into the show function and see what we see. And we don't see anything? Let me explain and assure you that nothing is broken and that we did nothing wrong. You see, what happens when we copy an object is that the object is copied exactly. This means that the size, the shape, the color, and the position are exactly the same as the new object. So, copied object was created, and it is just occupying the exact same space as the original object, and it has the exact same size and color. So it's overlapping and we can't see it. So let's move it somewhere where we can see it. Let's start by moving our copied object along the XY plane, and then I can show you how to move objects along the Z-axis. We will use the move function to move our copied object 2 units on the X-axis and 0 on the Y-axis. Remember, so far we've learned the move function with 3 parameters. The first one specifying the object that we want to move, the second one specifying how many units along the x-axis we'd like to move it, and the third specifying the units for the y-axis. We can see that our copied object has been moved 2 units up on the x-axis, and it is now at a point where it's visible and not overlapping with the original object. Now I want to show you how to move the objects along the z-axis, or up and down in the same direction as this blue arrow right here. So far we've used the move command with just those 3 parameters. Like I said, the first to specify the object, the next for the units on the x-axis, and the next for the units on the y-axis. So in order to move it along the z-axis, it's very simple. We just have to add one more parameter specifying the amount of units we'd like to move it along the z-axis. So let's go into the move command here right after this 0, and let's move it 1 unit up on the z-axis. Our copied object is now 1 unit exactly above the XY plane. Pretty cool. So to sum up the lesson, the copy command is a very useful command which will save you time and lines of code. It can be used on any object at all, even objects that are made with unions of multiple other objects. In addition to the copy command, you learned how to move 3-dimensional objects using move. Remember that to move objects in 3-dimensional space, you need to specify which object you want to move, and then the 3 values representing how much you want to move the object in the X, Y, and Z directions.